Today is the big dyno day. We will be comparing intakes. I have the standard airbox cover, KDX Snorkel, standard Snorkel, and the 3D printed version. I will show you later. Test of the custom intake. And today I have a road tire for precise dyno. And if you haven't seen my previous video with an overview of the all intake options with the discussion about the custom integrated lead airbox cover and the KDX and the standard KLX, take a look at my previous video. I will leave a link to this video here. And now let's take a step back and discuss why bothering about intakes. So everything started with these two dyno charts, which we will discuss now. Number one. This is the chart when I replaced my standard ECU, which is shown as pink line here, to an unrestricted JDM Japan ECU for KLX300, which is pictured as the red line. And these two dyno runs, red and pink, they are done with the open airbox. So it is airbox with the removed airbox lid or airbox cover. And the blue one is the exactly same setup with the JDM ECU and with the KDX Snorkel. So as you can see, there is a nearly 2 horsepower difference across the entire RPM range between the blue and the red line. And the second chart is somewhat similar to the previous one. It just was done at another day and I was using the off-road tires, so the absolute horsepower numbers are lower compared to the previous one. What you need to focus on is the pink line and the green line. So those two lines are exactly same setup with the KLX300R camshafts. Just the green using the open airbox and the pink using the KDX Snorkel. Why bother with the intakes? So there are two things to consider. First one is the performance gain is too big for me to ignore. But on the other side, I really hate the huge intake noise which bike makes with the open airbox. So that's why I kind of started the experiments with the custom snorkels and airboxes, and I've done quite a lot of trials and errors with these things and comparing different materials. But the moment of truth is the dyno. The dyno runs for today are finished. I have a bunch of dyno charts for you to review. So I will make a picture and we will review all together what's going on. Friends, as you probably noticed, I'm putting a lot of effort into this research and into these videos. So if you want these videos to be seen by more KLX enthusiasts like me and you, please hit like and subscribe. Okay, let's just quickly discuss my setup and my mods before going to the dyno charts. So my bike ran with the standard 300 cylinder and piston. It has the secondary throttle plate removed from the throttle body. It has the unrestricted ECU from Japan market. It runs obviously the fuel controller, similar to this one. I installed KLX300R camshafts and have a aftermarket exhaust with the Mega Bomb style header pipe. Muffler is the muffler from the KTM 350 EXF, the standard factory muffler. Dyno runs we were done a couple of weeks back, and let's jump straight into results. Here are all the dyno runs I made on that day. There are quite a lot of lines here which are hard to digest, so we will do pairwise comparison. But as you can see, there is quite a big difference between the blue and red line, and there is this strange blue line, so we will discuss in details. I will not play the game asking you to guess which line is what. I will tell you straight away that the topmost red line is our custom snorkel, and if you want to buy one, you can follow link in the video description and you can buy one from me. But for those of you who want to learn something, I encourage you to stay with me, as the results are really interesting. I would like to discuss this chart, which is our best run with our custom snorkel, which is the red line. The blue line is the same intake, but the standard ECU, and the red one is the Japanese performance ECU. So if you follow me and follow Planet KLX, you know that the KLX250 and KLX300 on most of the markets come with the restricted ECU, which retards ignition at either 7,500 RPM for KLX250 or 8,000 for KLX300. So whatever mods you try, you cannot make it produce power if you use the standard ECU past the 7,500 or 800. So this chart clearly demonstrates this power cliff after 7,500 RPM compared to the unrestricted ECU. But also notice that the unrestricted ECU starts making more power starting from the 5,500 RPM. So it's not only the improving or removing the ignition retard at the 7,500, but also it consistently makes more power and torque starting from 5,500 RPM. If you need one of those ECUs, they are coming either from early Indonesia years or Japan, just drop me a message. Sometimes I have these ECUs and the price is $350 per ECU. Another caveat to consider is that I was running my dyno with the standard KTM EXCF muffler, which comes with the screen on the end of the end pipe. As you can see on the dyno, most of the lines are below 30 horsepower, which is strange because on my previous runs my bike made between 30 and 31 horsepower. So when I removed this screen, the best intake has shown more than 30 horsepower, in fact about 31 horsepower. And on this chart you can see two lines. The red line is the standard muffler with the screen and the best intake, and the blue line is the same intake and screen out of the muffler. I realized the issue with the screen only in the end of the dyno testing, so all the charts in our analysis will be with the standard muffler and screen in place. So the first chart to analyze will be standard snorkel, which is shown in red, and the KDX Snorkel, which is shown in blue. It's an easy upgrade, which most of the riders consider in the beginning, and it's worth it. So it's better everywhere, and it adds about 0.3 horsepower in almost entire RPM range. And the good part is that it does not add much of intake noise, so it's almost as quiet as the standard snorkel. The next thing to consider is to completely remove snorkel, and as you can see, the power is quite noticeably better in the mid RPM, so it's 0.5 to 1 horsepower gain. The downside is that the intake noise becomes really considerable and significant. On this chart you can see all three options, the standard pink, the KDX blue, and the no snorkel is red. And what about completely open airbox without the lid? On this chart you can see the open airbox in blue and airbox with no snorkel in red. As you can see, for some reason the open airbox performs a little bit worse. For me this result is a bit surprising, but I trust the Dyno, so I'm sharing this result with you as is. And finally we are getting to our winner, is the custom lid with integrated snorkel. This chart demonstrates how it compares to the standard snorkel. The standard snorkel is red and the custom 3D printed snorkel is blue. As you can see, the difference is really huge. Is 2.5 horsepower and 2 to 3 Newton meter difference across the entire RPM range. On this chart you can compare custom snorkel to KDX snorkel, as you can see, again the difference is quite huge. It's 1.5 to 2 horsepower and about 2 Newton meters difference across almost entire RPM range. And the custom snorkel is almost as quiet as KDX snorkel. And the last chart to consider is our custom snorkel, comparing it to snorkel removed, which was the best intake before. So as you can see on the chart, the custom snorkel is better everywhere. It produces more power, and yet it is much more quiet. It is almost as quiet as KDX snorkel. While I was building this for myself with my own goals to be quiet and performant, I think the results are quite interesting and promising. So if you need one, I sell them on eBay now, since several friends asked if I can build for them. So check the link in the description and you can order one from me. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about this comparison, and don't forget to subscribe and hit like. Thank you. Bye.